Hey there, how's it going? I'm Rick Hines, the amp dude at Fender.
I'm Stan Cody, I design pedals at Fender.
And we're here today to talk about the Santa Ana Overdrive, Fender's unique, awesome sounding overdrive circuit.
It is a FET-based distortion pedal. FETs stands for field effect transistor. It's a type of technology that, while it's solid state, it has some of the characteristics of a tube in terms of how it performs dynamically. So it lets you turn down your volume control and clean up and do some of the same things you do with a ragingly overdriven tube amp. This pedal's cool because it has a high voltage power supply that's stabilized, so no matter what the incoming voltage is, it holds it, which is important for the FETs. And it runs the FETs on higher voltage, which makes them, to me, sound even more tube-like. So it's got some really cool features. It's got a boost, and the boost is selectable to either give you more drive, which is great for, going from like rhythm kind of crunch tones into like searing lead tones. You can also make it a level boost, so I can just kick the whole volume level of the pedal up while preserving the tone. It's got a 3-band tone stack that are very amp-like tone controls, and it's got a presence control as well, again, kind of keeping with the amp theme. There's this awesome voicing switch. Sometimes amps are like not pedal friendly. Sometimes amps are inherently bright, like the vibrato channel of a deluxe reverb has a bright cap built into it. So this has a voicing switch that helps with that. It revoices the pedal to work with those kinds of amps. So it's friendly towards a lot of different amps.
Well, I like the organic nature of it. Like when I was playing, I realized I could roll back the volume. It was really sensitive to the touch. Obviously, there's quite a bit of gain on there, but even those low gain tones I thought sounded great. Having the 3-band, or 4-band I should say, is really nice. Having the presence gives you a little bit of cut, which I like. And I just think it's a really fun pedal to play.
So much of that, to me, like the mid-range character of an overdrive pedal is really important. Some overdrive pedals have tons of mid-range, and it's all you get out of the pedal. This, because not only the mid control, but also the presence control kind of affects high mid. So it gives you a couple of different ways to shape the mid-range, which really affects the punchiness of the pedal. You can really set it to where you can be more transparent and kind of disappear into the track that you're playing or the song that you're playing, or you can turn the mids up more and be a lot more front and center and present without necessarily being a lot louder.
Yeah, and sometimes overdrive circuits, they're very mid-centric, which can be great for some amps, but having the ability to blend in that bass so you don't lose all that low end is a really nice thing. And to your point, with the voicing switch, if you're using like EL84s or things that tend to be brighter in nature, like you said, bringing that down really does help kind of warm up the top end, which is great.
This pedal has a kind of a fun feature too, in that it has a selectable true bypass or buffered bypass, and there's a little switch on the back that lets you do that. And that's kind of a fun thing if you're a purist and you really just want a true bypass kind of thing so it doesn't affect the rest of your signal. But if it's early in your signal chain, having a buffer sometimes is great if you're punching through a whole bunch of other pedals on the way to your amp. So just a nice feature to have.
Well, what's cool about the boost feature, I think, to your point, is that you can have it actually saturate so that you get the boost that's going to give you more gain.
Like organically.
Yeah. Or the boost where you just need to have that solo kind of rise over the top when you're playing live or something. So that's
more
really
like pushing
nice
a fader up on a console.
Absolutely. And it doesn't seem to color the sound either, what I notice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the drive part of the boost, there might be a touch more mid-range, but the overall level boost is just pretty pure. It's just more.
Well, why don't I play something and then we'll add the boost to it, and you can try the two different things and see how that sounds.
Yeah. So I think we'll start with the drive boost, show you what more gain is like. That's the dry tone. So you can hear some more upper mids kind of coming through, so it bites a little more. And now I'll switch over to the level boost. So it got quite a bit louder, and I think we actually are getting into the amp a little bit, because the amp kind of barked a little when we did the
yeah, it's pushing the power section, I guess, right?
Yeah. This pedal came about, we have a guy that works for us called Alex Aguilar, and he's known a bit in the bass world, but he's a great guitar player, and he's done a lot of high gain design stuff in the past. So he and I had a conversation about FETs and about what we could do with them in the context of a pedal. One of the things that Alex suggested was to do a kind of a trick power supply that runs at high voltage internally. So the power supply in this thing regulates the incoming voltage, and it keeps it at an internal high voltage so that if your battery's sagging or you're on different power supplies, the pedal's still running on a consistent voltage the whole time. So it sounds the same from gig to gig, night to night, whatever.
With the doubling of the voltage internally, I mean, a lot of players feel like when they have a pedal like that, it's more tube-like, it reacts more like an amplifier. There's more of a dynamic range.
Exactly. And it gets louder too. That's one of the cool things about the headroom is, as a clean boost, this pedal can deliver a significant amount of output voltage. So like, all of our playing examples, the level control's down here around 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock, but there's plenty of room for it to go up. So if you want to set the drive control to where it's pretty clean, and just make it more like a mid boost or a punchy kind of boost, there's plenty of room for that.
Right, so you're hitting the power amp and making the amp distort internally. Yeah. If you've got tubes, it cooks them, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and for those tone junkies out there, just so you know, we decided to go pretty simple with the setup. I've got a Blues Junior, Stan's got the Princeton Reverb. It's pretty much guitar, cable, overdrive, and that's it. Another great thing about the Santa Ana and actually all the Fender pedals is we really thought about players playing live and added just small features we thought that would be great. Things like the door for the battery is a flip top, so you can actually get to it really easily. So if you're on stage, you need to replace it quickly. And then also, if you notice the glowing knobs, you can turn those on and off. So if you're on stage, you want to know where all the knobs are set, just in case things bump when you move stuff around. It's really great for that sort of thing. I mean, even simple things like the input and output on the pedal are different angles. So if you're doing your pedal board, they'll sit next to each other a little closer than if you had them parallel. So that's the Santa Ana Overdrive. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned here for more videos.